Nomad Capitalist is completely wrong about Bali, and I will explain you in this video why. This is the video we will discuss today, why I didn't move to Bali from Nomad Capitalist, near 1 million subscribers they have, and we will do the reaction. But before we start, make sure that you subscribe our channel and push the like button, that you always have the news updates, because here you not just get amazing content about Bali, we also have nice villa tours where we show you the most amazing villas here in Bali and many more interesting content. But now let's take a look in this video.
Bali has long been one of the most popular places in Asia, not only for tourists, but for long-term nomads who want to soak up all the good vibes that this Indonesian city has to offer. But yet it's never been on my list. And today I'm going to give you all the reasons why.
So first, Bali is not an Indonesian city, yeah? It's an island, and for sure many digital nomads living here, but not just digital nomads, also many other people come here, successful entrepreneurs who set up their businesses and like to live an amazing life. Because like you said, Bali is the hotspot #1 for me, especially here in Asia, was in every Asian country, and for me the life quality here in Bali is the highest from overall. So super excited what coming now in this video.
So for those of you who haven't watched before, my city of choice in Asia is Kuala Lumpur. I have been softening a little bit on Bangkok recently.
Kuala Lumpur, yeah, I also was there, and for me this was like a trip. I was 3 days there, and I was saying, what I have to do in this city, yeah? So there we are completely on a different side. I don't know you, if you was already in Kuala Lumpur, but when I can compare, I can live in Kuala Lumpur, or I can live in Bali, or even I can live in Bangkok, I definitely would choose every other location than Kuala Lumpur. Okay.
My place is still Kuala Lumpur. I own a home in Kuala Lumpur. I like the big city vibes. And so that's one reason why Bali would probably never be my place. But aside from that, I want to share with you some other reasons why, for me as a successful entrepreneur and someone who invests, it just didn't make it onto my radar. I think Indonesia is a very interesting country. It's one of the big players in the Asian part of my portfolio. Done very well for me recently.
I would say it's one of the big player. When we see the statistics, exactly the economic growth, Indonesia raised more up than China at the moment. When we see the growth of the economy, just India have from all G20 states more economic growth than Indonesia. So and also from the Asian states, it's the leading state, and here's definitely growing the most. This is just facts.
And so I am bullish on Indonesia overall. I think Jakarta is not a place that I would live. It's an interesting city. Interesting place to do business, and probably a hidden gem, particularly for single people, if you want to go and go somewhere that people aren't going. One of the things that Asia talks about, everywhere I go in Asia, at a shop, at a car dealership, wherever, oh, this is the best seller, right? Jakarta is like not the best seller. And so if you want to go and you want to have unique social opportunities.
I mean, even the government knows that Jakarta not will be the city for the future. That's why they're building already a new main capital city, Nusantara in Kalimantan in Borneo there. So the capital city of Indonesia will change there. I don't know if you don't have this information, but for me, Jakarta also, it was a few times there. Not so nice place, but for me overall, I don't like big cities. I more like the island vibe, completely different to him. You more prefer the island life, the beach life, or you like to live in a big city? What about you? Let us know in the comments.
Bali, of course, has lots of folks going, and it always has. The first issue that I've had is visa issuance. And so this ties in with my second reason, which is the tax regime in Indonesia. And so they're kind of connected. There have been ways to get visas in Indonesia. You can get a kitas. There's different ways that you can get into Indonesia. I never found it to be as straightforward. And so I don't necessarily want to be tied down to a place. A lot of people, first of all, start off with just getting tourist visas. They go and extend them. And they just do that in perpetuity, where they're there for, 2 or 3 months, and then they leave, and then they come back. I think that's on the way out in the world. It's not the way I want to live. I think it's counterproductive. I've lived that way many years ago, and I just think it wasn't as conductive for getting business done. It's good for getting started if you just want to explore different places and figure out where you're going. But as a policy of wanting to live somewhere, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, this is also not for me. Many people do this. I know they do some visa runs, even to Kuala Lumpur and coming back. So they stay 2 months, then they make a visa run to Kuala Lumpur or some other city, and then after they're coming back, and all the people who I will speak, and they said, yeah, I go to Kuala Lumpur, but just one night because nothing to do new there, don't like the city, not special about food, not special about lifestyle, not special about anything, yeah? And for sure, it's much easier if you set up your company here, if you make your kitas, and then you can stay for 2 years, then you can easily and also cheap extend for 2 years. After this, you can extend for 5 years. So for me, the visa situation in Indonesia is super, super easy. And also the government make it even more easier, saying now there's even 5 years visa, depending for sure also what is your purpose, yeah? Your purpose for coming here. Do you want to set up a business? Do you want to invest in real estate? For sure, if you invest, it's always easier for you if you just want to stay and relax.
On the residence permit policy, for lack of a better word, more difficult in Indonesia, or just not worth it, right? And that tied in with the fact that Indonesia never had the ideal tax system. You had Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand as kind of the best tax systems in Asia, where it's territorial tax. Theoretically, Hong Kong could fit in that as well.
Also there about the tax system. So there's Indonesia make it super, super interesting for Asian investors to coming here. Even if you have a small business, for example, for the remote workers, if you be under $300,000 revenue, then you just pay 0.5% taxes. So, and I think this is super, super good. And also for bigger companies, there's so many tax incentives. So I think he missed a few information.
You know, Malaysia, which I think probably has the most straightforward tax system for an expat who runs a business out of all of them, worked a lot better. And I also noticed a difference, by the way, between Malaysia. I went from Malaysia to Jakarta once. There's a big difference in culture. I mean, Malaysia is much more developed. The people are more developed. And I love the Indonesians, and it's, I mean, some of the nicest people that you're going to find, but the development isn't quite there.
Yeah, he's definitely right. So the people super, super friendly, super kind, really nice culture, but the development is not so great. So I don't know. The video is now, how old is the video? Let's check it out. 1 year ago, I don't know, even 1 year ago, there was a lot of development. And like I said, the life quality is super, super high, depending in which area you go. And also the infrastructure project, like now the new railway system would coming in Bali, new airport was in the north, new harbor in Sanur. So I would say the infrastructure grow enormously. And I don't know any other part in Asia where this is raising so much up.
You want more development and you want a little bit cleaner tax and immigration regime. For me, Malaysia is always worked much better.
I mean, we go a little bit forward because I think when you compare Indonesia and Malaysia, I think for most of the followers here is clear that Indonesia is the much better choice. Also, even if you want to connect with international people, want to have international food and all this kind of stuff, what gives you the life quality, I think this is not so the interesting part. But here, now starting investing in real estate, and there we want to take a deeper look into.
The bottom line is I like to own property. I think that long-term buying property in Asia is going to be a good investment.
Yes, there he's definitely right. The Western world overall goes more down and Asia raise super up. But for sure, we want to figure out where is the best places to buy property and get the highest returns.
And also it means that when I'm only in that country 4 months a year, or in 2021, through the pandemic, I wasn't in Asia at all, I didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm wasting rent and I'm paying, $3,000 a month or $5,000 or whatever it is that you're spending. And it's just going in the drain because I needed a place to store the clothes that I left when I went to do business in Europe. I like owning. And in Indonesia, you're looking at, generally speaking, leasehold land. So, for me, the idea that my children or grandchildren are not going to really be able to use that, who knows what they can come up with? This is the big...
And there he is completely wrong, because for sure you can make a leasehold for 20 years, for 30 years, even you can make a deal for 30 years and you already make the extension for 30 years again. But you also can own the land and the property freehold, not as a person, but with your company. It's the PTPMA. It's a company with for agent capital, and then you also can own it freehold and even can give it to your child. It's completely wrong information what you have here, because it's possible to own a land also in a freehold way.
What are we going to do in 99 years? What are we going to do in 30 years? What are we going to do in whatever number of years when the leasehold ends? But for me, that's a downside. Now, a lot of Asia's like that, but Indonesia especially so. It's kind of, to me, one of the big proponents of leasehold, and foreigners can own land and all that. Malaysia, foreigners can own.
like I said, he's completely wrong with this. I know this personally. I also personally have a freehold land with my company, so I have the proof by myself. If you want to get more information in detail about this, just contact us. Then we're sure we also can explain you this in a personal way. What is all the regulations? But in this point, really, he's completely wrong.
I think the people are very nice, but I think it's probably with the lack of development, a little bit harder to build stuff as well. You really have to be there and managing it, whereas in a city, you can be more hands-off.
So I don't know what he means with lack of development, because you have so many really good reputation real estate companies. Also, when you see here project like the Savaya Beach Club, like the Finns Beach Club, Atlas Beach Club, what's get developed. Also now the new Luna Beach Club there. This is project who our beach clubs you cannot compare with anywhere else in the world. Also for the technical stuff, even now in Sanur, there is a new big mall just open up right now, who's super modern. And also when you see all the luxury hotels. So like I said, I really don't know what he means that the development is not so good possible here. I mean, for sure, we don't have here big towers like in Kuala Lumpur or in Dubai, but this is also not the Bali vibe, and this is also not match to the islands, if you mean this.
The other thing is just the vibe in general. And so I think vibe is very important. You want to go where people are nice. If you have only lived in one place your entire life, realize that not everyone in the world is nice. People in Indonesia, I think, are very nice.
Yes, he's right. People super nice, super kind, super welcoming. Yeah, this is a point where he is right.
The challenge for me is, are the people who are going to Bali the kind of people that I would hang out with in terms of growing my business? And so if you are a 7 or 8 figure or a 9-figure entrepreneur, you're probably not going to find as many people in Bali. This is not to be taken as a criticism. You have a lot of folks in Bali who want to run lifestyle businesses. And yes, I know people who have big businesses. I will say that the percentage of folks that we've worked with who live in Bali, who have million and multi-million-dollar incomes, the percentage of them who stay at that level is less, because it is perhaps more of a lifestyle focus. And so they get up to $1 million, $2 million, $3 million.
Here I also would say here that he's wrong, because I know so many people, also successful millionaires, even billionaires, who, for example, living in US or living in Dubai. And in the summer, when it's getting too hot in Dubai, they have a second home here in Bali. Also, I know so many people who own resorts here, who own restaurants, who are super successful, and also there make 7 or 8 figure, who also love to living here. So I think he missed out a few information, because you also can ask yourself, if you are financial free, you have millions of dollars, where is the place you like to live? A big city where people may be more stressful. When you go out, you have to take the taxi there. Maybe you have some traffic jams there. The air pollution is not so nice. Or you can living in a place like Bali, where you can also go to the neighbor island, Nusa Tenggara. It looks like the Maldives there. You can relaxing, you can chilling with your friends. You have a more chilled vibe. My choice is definitely clear, that I more would choose this option.
You know, I think that if you want to be around people who want the same creature comforts that you do, who want the same services that you do. I mean, for me, I like having access to certain luxuries that just don't exist in Bali. Other people like riding motorbikes and having beautiful scenery, and that's why it works for them.
Okay, when he now means with luxury that you drive a nice Ferrari or something, okay, this makes no sense here. If you like to do this, maybe then go to a big city. If you like to show up or something, okay, driving a luxury sports car here in Bali, this for sure, this makes no sense.
I have almost memories, to be fully vulnerable. I have memories of being a kid or being a young adult. I remember going to Vegas. I went to Vegas a bunch of times in my early 20s for business and entertaining people. And I remember walking on the strip on a couple different occasions, and people like just shouting out at me that I was too intense, that I was walking too fast.
Okay, yeah, this is now two completely different things. Las Vegas, who is famous for casino, strip clubs, and something like this, and you have a Muslim country like Indonesia, Bali. This you cannot compare for sure. Then you have to maybe to fly to in the near of Hong Kong, there Macau. I think this is, or even the Philippines, Manila. There you can also go to the casino. Yeah, but it's just a 4-hour flight from Bali. So also this is easily possible if you like to do this kind of stuff.
One thing my friends and I were talking about recently was there was a sign at a cafe we went to. We just met up with some people. Good vibes only. And that to me is the ultimate Bali thing. Here's what good vibes only is. It is, I am deep down a toxic person who's jealous, who's miserable, but I cover it up because that's socially acceptable to me, and I'm afraid to be who I really am to the world. And so I'm going to have a veneer of good vibes only. And like anyone who's not an action taker, but who only says things, I'm going to just say good vibes only. So then the minute you get upset with me for my toxicity or doing anything wrong or not delivering.
Yeah, I also would say this, that the people are more calm, the people are more relaxed. And for sure, when you want to grow a business, when you want to develop, for example, a real estate project, we have also for sure the experience by our own. The people say, oh, yeah, we do this tomorrow or maybe next week. And oh, yeah, the furniture normally, oh, yeah, we have a deal that it's have to be finished on the 15th. Now it's already the 20th. Oh, yeah, we need 2 weeks more. Yes, for sure. It's a little bit not so straightforward. Yeah, it's more the relaxed. If I not come today, I come tomorrow. Yes, this is overall more here in Asia like this than in the Western world. But if you can handle this and if you're also a little bit more calm, then it doesn't have a so bad effect on you. And I would say better have always more good vibes than having bad vibes.
And I just always kind of feel a little bit weird, even if you stay at like the Ritz-Carlton Reserve Hotel or if you stay at a really nice villa, I just feel weird. And so, it's just not the vibe that's for me. I like walking, and it's not as much of a walking place. I like cities. And
yeah, that's true. That's true. This is if you want to walk here, yeah, the streets are not really good for walking. Even sometimes the motorbikes driving on the way where you can walk. And if you want to walk and it's important for you, maybe go to the beach, take a nice beach walk, maybe get some dog like I have, and then make a nice beach walk with them. But like I said, everyone is different. Yeah, the one individual like more this, the other like this. What's your opinion? If you not have done it yet, write it now down in the comment. And if you like this video, if you agree with my opinion, push the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we see us soon in one of the next videos.